Welcome to Community Insight. I am your host, Reverend Dr. Rodney Coles, here bringing information to our community. I pray today that you have your pen and paper ready to take down this information that you're getting off this broadcast. Today we have a special guest, a friend of mine, a board member as well, and the work that she's doing in the area of Little Washington and many other areas that she's serving. I'd like to welcome Miss Anne Marie. Miss Anne Marie, welcome to the broadcast.
Thank you so much, Bishop Coles. It's a pleasure to be with you today.
And the work that you do there in Eagle Wings, I mean, it's I came there couple times, and y'all had such a system in place. Could you explain a little bit the mission about Eagle Wings?
Well, Eagles Wings has been around. Actually, first of all, our legal name is Eagles Wings Christian Love in Action.
Wow.
And I tell people that we are simply the crazy Christians trying to feed people. That's our mission, just to feed people. You can't just try to convince them that God loves them and leave them hungry. You have to take care of their human needs, and feeding people is very important. We've been in existence since 1989, and we are serving most of Beaufort County, just about all of Beaufort County, and it's been an interesting journey these 39 years, I can tell you.
Wow. And I have to say, by looking on the way you have things so operating and organized, because when I came in there for my very first time, you had the desk and you had information for people to get information. You have a very tight system.
Well, I am standing on the shoulders of people who, since 1989, have been working toward that. We started in the basement of a church over in Chocowinity, and handing out just a bag of food. Eventually we did get our own facility, and it was an old auto supplies warehouse. So we had to totally, do it. But, we're a nonprofit. We don't have a lot of money to do anything like that. So we worked a lot of grants. We did a lot of PR so that the public knew what we were doing. Churches support us. We were started by the Interfaith Forum in Beaufort County. So churches know us. They support us. And rather than each church have its own little, what we call a food closet, they support Eagles Wings so that we can then supply a great deal of food to people instead of just a few things here and there. So it's been a real journey. And the last just about 8 years I've been there have been absolutely wonderful and remarkable. We've come a long way, as they say, and so we have expanded. And our newest expansion effort, we started 4.5 years ago doing satellite operations.
Wow.
You're familiar with Beaufort County, I'm sure. We have no public transportation in Beaufort County, and 1/3 of the citizens of Beaufort County do not have cars. So how do you get to our big warehouse and our big facility to get food if you don't have a car? And it's difficult. So we decided, well, if the mountain won't come to us, we're going to go to the mountain. And we pack up food and our computers and anything else we need. And we have 4 different locations now each month that we go to. Thursday is our satellite day. So we are out on the road on Thursdays. You see our vans in different locations within Beaufort County, pockets of poverty where people just cannot get out. And of course, the first place we targeted was Aurora in Beaufort County. It's the farthest away. It's probably the poorest municipality within the county, and it's on the other side of the river, which, I question what our forefathers did in drawing the map for Beaufort County, because we are almost like 2 separate counties. But if you're all that far eastern point, known as Aurora, it's a long way to Washington, North Carolina to get food. And there are no grocery stores in that area. People have to drive a minimum of 30 to 40 minutes to get to a grocery store. So how do you get to these stores if you don't have a car?
One of the things you just mentioned is that you guys started out is the church, and the interfaith gets involved. You started as a church in the basement. It's just amazing how, I'm going to use how God moved this
Oh, yes.
to a whole new area. And food is very essential for us to have.
I always say we're the crazy Christians trying to feed people. It's not a luxurious job. It is not glamorous in any shape or form. I mean, I get out there and help unload trucks when I have to.
Wow.
You go through bins of rotten potatoes to find potatoes. I mean, you do whatever you need to do. That's the nonprofit world. We're
Right.
going to get our hands dirty. We work with our volunteers. Who are just wonderful, God-given people to be there. So as leadership, you come on, let us do this. We do this together, and we work together, and we do whatever needs to be done. But we've been, like I said, very fortunate through the years.
It is amazing how God moved from the basement to
Oh.
auto part place, which you had to fix up, and
Oh, yes.
then the way you have. I mean, I'm trying to give people a vision in my brain cell. What I see when you go in there, it's like a store. You have everything lined up, like going shopping with a shopping cart.
We had what was called a client's choice pantry. And there were only 2 of them in the 14-county area that is served by the Food Bank of the Albemarle. There was Eagles Wings, and then there's one over on the Outer Banks. However, COVID has done a number on that. COVID has really caused us to rethink everything that we are doing. And I am so proud of our people because we did not miss one single pantry distribution day because of COVID. We have taken the utmost precautions. We all wear masks when we are anywhere in the buildings or doing anything for Eagles Wings. We use hand sanitizer. We do sanitary wipes down on everything. But we've had to close the client's choice part of the pantry. And what we do is we pre-pack a grocery cart for each family or each household. And when they finish their interviews, then it's brought out to their vehicle, and we load it into their cars for them.
Wow.
But they're amazed though that we are able to do what we do, and supply as much food to them and help them.
And you just said something when the COVID came in and we had to change our model. I mean, the difficult of making those changes and being able to help the client still. And I'm going to speak on my end with Churches Outreach Network Feeding. It's so difficult for me to get food. I have to drive way out of the area like Charlotte and get food to come in now.
Wow.
Dealing with to make sure we have boxes of food, because even our local food bank, they don't have the supply anymore like they used to have. That would have been the easy way to get it from them.
Yes.
But it's difficult. And everything, prices went up. I mean.
Yes. When I have to purchase things not through the food bank but through merchants. Yes, and I do my very best to make every dollar I spend make George scream on that dollar bill as I'm spending it, because I'm spending other people's donations. It's a sacred trust. So we're very careful about how we spend any money when we have to do outside purchasing. But we do purchase outside produce when it's limited from the food bank. We do purchase eggs every week for our clients, as many as we're going to be servicing. We serve about 450 families a month, and that includes the satellite operations. So we're buying a lot of eggs, and those chickens are wonderful. They provide wonderful sources of protein for our people. And the homebound people that are medically homebound that we deliver to appreciate getting healthy food. And we try to promote that healthy attitude, healthy food, so that you're not just eating junk food or just sweets or whatever. We want you to be eating healthy food. So that's part of our mantra, is to make sure not just feed you anything, but to feed you
Healthy
well,
food.
so that you're getting good nutrition.
And like you say, that's so important. And even to think about the homebound people that.
Yes.
It got to be something, because we do it too as delivery. We have a van, they have 2 vans,
Yes.
but we do these deliveries, and you can't express how they feel in words,
our drivers come back, and again, they're volunteer drivers every Monday, and they just shake their heads and say, Mrs. So-and-so she just had the nicest things to say, and she was so happy to see us, or Mr. Jones, or whatever. They're grateful. They are medically homebound, because it has to be verified. But we have almost 80 of those people that we take care of on Mondays.
On Mondays.
Monday is our homebound delivery day.
And that is so, see, you have such a structure, having your people there, and you have a set day when they get the food. And you also mentioned on volunteers. Is there ever any need for more volunteers? It's a tricky word.
Yes, we had to be careful because of COVID.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it's getting a little bit more relaxed because of people being vaccinated and boosted and all. And like I said, we do take precautions. You must wear masks. I hate wearing a mask as much as anybody else.
Yeah,
However,
glasses
it
on.
has become a way of life in COVIDville. It's just the way we have to be safe. And I tell people, if the staff gets COVID, we're closed.
Mm-hmm.
And it used to be 2 weeks you were closed. So that means nobody would be getting food for 2 weeks. So taking these precautions is necessary. It's not just for us, it's for all the people we're helping and assisting. And the people have responded. They know they can't come in the building without a mask. So we have a box of masks right there at the entrance, and they know they can't come in. And they'll come in and say, I forgot my mask, or it's in my other car, or, it's in my other purse, or whatever. So we understand that because we're all human.
Mm-hmm.
But they have to have a mask on to go in the building and go through the interview process.
And I want to speak about, when Eagle Wing, I've been in Greenville 17 years now, basically coming up very soon in March. But I have heard about the work that you guys been doing out there. The ricochet of the work you do down there, and especially a lot of those rural areas have came back. And just knowing of the satellite facility, how God really moved, in those areas. And your board, you have a very strong...
We have a very hands-on board of directors. At any of our satellite pantries or our main pantry there in Washington, or anything that Eagles Wings is doing, you will see board people there. They are, mostly retired.
Workers.
I think we have 2 people on the board currently, 2 or 3 who are employed. But Saturday, or if they can take a day off, or it's a holiday or whatever, they're right there. What can we do? I've got the day off. What are we doing today? Are we going out? Are we doing this? Are we doing that? So there's always things to be done. Every day there's somebody doing something for Eagles Wing, 7 days a week, really, because we have the retail store pickups 6 days a week, not on Tuesdays. So we have volunteers that do that, different routes at different locations. Besides, like I said, the homebound deliveries, the satellite operations on Thursdays, and the Tuesday pantry at Washington. So it's, we keep busy. We keep very busy. You don't join the Eagles Wings Board of Directors or volunteer group and sit around.
Sit in the easy boy chairs.
They
do great work. You
no,
workers.
No. I don't sit in my office. I'm very much hands-on. I want to be involved. If I'm asking you to do something, I wouldn't ask you to do anything that I wouldn't do, and I'll help you get it done, whatever it is. We will get it done together.
Yeah, and I have seen you, Miss Anne-Marie, doing the work. I have seen you not just doing the paperwork, but out there working, and also picking up as doing the van, bringing the van in, and the work. And I'm gonna say this, I hope the board don't get mad with me on the end of your board. I have seen y'all go in some of these areas and just bless them, even with helping them with the transportation now.
We do whatever needs to be done to assist our dear clients. They are such wonderful people. We have so many elderly and disabled people on our rolls as clients. And that's something that somebody asked just the other day, well, why don't you just tell these people to go out and get a job so they can buy their own food? When you're dealing with 60, 70, 80, sometimes 90-year-old people, and I've got one that's over 100, you're dealing with people and disabled people. They're on crutches, they're on walkers, they're in wheelchairs, they're amputees. You're dealing with people that they are so grateful that we stop and we're going to take care of you. We tell them, we're going to take care of you. You don't have to worry about this. We've got this one idea, this one item of food security that we're going to handle for you. You got it. Don't worry. You can't come to us. We're going to come to you. And we're going to get this done together. And again, yes, it is a God thing. It is definitely a God thing that put us in Beaufort County. It's been a Tier 1, Tier 2 county. We're just now elevated to a 2-tier county, which is nice on paper, but we still have a lot of Tier 1 people. And, the poverty rates are still high. The unemployment rates are a little higher than other areas. And, again, it's an aging population. And these are people who have worked all their lives. These are the women that took care of our children or took care of the households, cleaned houses and all of this. Maybe they were paid cash under the table. They're not getting, those nice high Social Security checks. If they're surviving on $800 or $900 a month. These are the men that worked out on those farms. They didn't have IRAs. They didn't have 401ks. They didn't have a financial advisor to tell them what to do. They struggled all their lives. It doesn't mean that they didn't work all their lives, but they didn't have the opportunities, perhaps, that you and I have had, the education, the ability to get a better paying job with benefits and things like that, But those people were valuable assets, though, to the people who were working that needed those women to watch the children or to take care of the house or to work the fields or whatever, So we're seeing that in a lot of our clients. And those are the people that, bless their souls, they're wonderful people. And, the fact that we're able to reach out and touch them in a positive way, and they know. I always tell them when they eat that food and make a nice meal with the food that we bring them, that nice warm feeling you get in your tummy, that's God's love.
Yes.
That's what God's love feels like. And that's what we tell them.
And I will say that as I've been at the pantry a few times just for other reasons over your pantry, I just seen the compassion you have. I mean, even the staff is so important.
They are wonderful. Our staff is wonderful. Our volunteers that take care of the clients, that interview them, or that are bringing the groceries out to the cars, they talk to them. They get to know them. We only see them once a month at any of our locations, but you get to know people, and the big smiles. You see them. You see how grateful people are, how they know they're being blessed, and they know that God's behind it all.
And that's the most beautiful thing I have seen is the folks that you have and how y'all show compassion with them. And we know that sometimes people cut up, but I haven't seen that there. I just seen that the people that come, they're just so grateful.
Yes. Every once in a while we get what I call a pooper, that comes in. But that's an exception. Maybe it's happened 3 times in the 8 years I've been there that, we've had to talk to someone and say, hey, wait, we're here to help you, and, maybe attitude adjustment or whatever, But, that's part of human nature too, because a lot of times these people have struggled real hard. They've gotten doors slammed in their faces. They're used to having people, not take care of them or tell them, wrong. You're wrong. You're this, you're that. And they come to us. So they've got a chip on their shoulder because that's all they've had to get through life that way.
Deal with it.
So we try to do the attitude adjustment so they understand we're happy to see you walk in our door. We're not going to close the door in your face. We're not going to send you away hungry. We're going to take care of you because we care about you as a person.
Wow. It's just, you also mentioned it when most people don't know, some folks are going through finance, difficult, working, and you said something key. We really don't know the circumstances. You could be working and still have an issue. And I'm going to tell you,
yes.
I went to the store because I decided to cook dinner one night. I mean, sometimes the wife said, you can always help cook. I said, that's true, but sometimes I don't. But but I decided to do the cooking when I heard mention it. The ground beef was like for almost $15. And I said, well, how? I went in the store thinking, Miss Anne-Marie, that I'm going to spend maybe about $30-$40 and prepare for dinner. I left out with a tab on $125 by the time I got the steak,
Yes.
the ground beef, and all that.
Oh, yes. Food prices are just really astronomical. And so many people are struggling. We have clients that are working 2 or 3 part-time jobs because in Beaufort County it's hard to get full-time jobs unless you have education background and things like that and experience. But they're doing the best they can. And, if you're working all these little part-time jobs, and you know you're getting minimum wage. It's almost impossible to not need some kind of help from some direction. So we can help with that bill at the grocery store by coming to Eagle's Wings. We do put you through an interview process. We do check household incomes. We do not check expenses because we recognized that a few years ago that if you are really going to respect the dignity of every person that walks through your doors, and they're surviving, and I say surviving, not living, but surviving on $800 or $900 a month, they're surviving. And the fact that they can survive on that small amount of money in this day and age, I am not going to frustrate them by asking them to account for every single penny of their income, how it was spent. And we got some resistance on that. I got some resistance from old-time volunteers and board members because we had done that up until just a few years ago. And I called other agencies. I called the food bank. And all of the programs that the government has, that we do participate in some government food programs for our clients, it's all simply income-based, period. Wow. And if you're existing, like I said, on $800 a month, bless your soul, because I couldn't do it. And I am not going to beat you up or refuse to give you food or give you less food because you didn't bring in every single receipt for all that $800. And this is part of how we are evolving as an agency and being that more caring agency and really respecting the clients. I'm Episcopal, and in our baptismal vows that we renew each year, it says that we will respect the dignity of every human being. Amen. And that is something that we are putting into practice.
Well, Anne-Marie, time went by so fast. There's also, I want to ask 2 things before I close out. Really close out. If somebody want to want to make a donation, how could we make a donation? And the last thing, how do we find out the information of Eagle Wing? Is there a website?
Oh, yes. We have a website, and on the web it's simply all small letters, Eagles, EAGLES, -wings.org. Very simple. And on that same website there is a volunteer application. So you can volunteer through that. There is a donation button also. But if you wanted to send us a donation, our P.O. Box is 426 in Washington, North Carolina. Zip code is 27889. And we are grateful for every donation we get. Financial donations are wonderful. We do get in-kind, meaning food type of donations. Those are also very acceptable. So thank you, because that's how we're able to do this work. Not everybody can do this work, but some people say, well, I work, but I can help financially to make sure that you're out there doing this. So that's how we use our monies. Well,
Miss Anne-Marie, I'm going to say thank you so much. For those who are listening to this broadcast, you have a ministry that started in the church in the basement and how God elevated. If you're able to volunteer, there's application, but we got to be a little careful of the pandemic. Mm-hmm. But monetary donation is needed. We all need food. They're helping senior citizens. They're helping people in the community. They're delivering it. They got volunteers. And God, now they have satellite facilities. please help if you can. It's very essential to come together, and especially all the partners that Eagle Wings have is making such a difference in their community. God bless. I thank you for watching this broadcast, and we'll see you at the next one.